I'm a 31 years old man and I matched with a woman, 28, on Tinder. Conversation led to exchanging Instagram accounts, and we continued talking for about 2 weeks. Earlier today, she messaged me asking what I was up to. I replied and asked why, and she said she was at a bar near my place with 2 couples of friends and was feeling like a fifth wheel, semi-drunk, and that it was an invitation for me to join them. I declined as I had just returned from the gym and it's a Monday. I have work tomorrow. However, I told her if she felt comfortable and wanted to, she could come over to my place, and I had some wine to offer. Otherwise, we could plan to meet for a beer some other time. She took offense to the invitation and said there wouldn't be any beer after that. So I just replied, all right, and didn't talk to her further. I've seen reports from women complaining that men only make these kinds of invitations and I don't know what else. Basically, she drew a whole conclusion about what kind of person I am based solely on the invitation I made. I submit this plea to this court. Am I a jerk for inviting a Tinder match at my place?
Hello, Sai here. Just let me be direct here, okay? I don't drink alcohol. I have no idea what half drunk is supposed to mean. But if the lady is not 100% sober, it is not okay to invite her to your place to get more alcohol in her system. Period. There are no excuses. At this time that I'm writing this script, the post is 7 days old, and there is an update, he said.
I appreciate all comments, even the disrespectful ones. Just to provide context, although it's not the norm, I've had first dates at my place and at other girls' places too, but I agree with most of the people who commented that I lacked tact. At the time of the conversation, I was quite tired and didn't realize the consequences and interpretation that the invitation could lead to. Even so, I tried to make it clear that the invitation was only if she felt comfortable with it, and if not, we could arrange to meet for a beer another more convenient time. Regarding her being drunk, the term she used was semi-drunk with quotes and everything, despite saying that she was typing everything quite accurately in the tone she always used in our conversations. It's not as if I were trying to take someone without awareness of their actions to my place, especially since she was conscious and sober enough to decline the invitation. Finally, in the worst case scenario, if she had accepted and had arrived drunk at my place, I would have told her I didn't think it was the right moment and would have taken her home.
I only agree with the finally word. This edit was longer than the actual post telling his story, and honestly, after being massacred in the comment section, it's quite easy to say that you would do the right thing, saying that if she became too drunk at your place, and you would take her to her house. Very cute. But I'm not buying that. The number one rule for online dating is to meet the person. In a highly populated public space, safety always comes first. And this applies to both men and women. In the update, he explained that his intentions were to say no, to go into the bar, but wanted to leave the door open for another date, and the issue was just because he had to go to work on the next day. I see 2 problems here. The bar was near his place, and he is 31. He doesn't know his limits with alcohol. To be able to have a nice time in a bar and go to work on the next day, he only drinks until he can't walk straight anymore. Therefore, it is not possible to hang out with her. Also, why can't he just be honest and say, hey, I just arrived from the gym and I have work tomorrow, so I have to decline your invitation, but I do want to see you. How about Friday night? Is that too hard to type? Let's see some comments and how harsh people were towards him.
Hello, person I've never seen in my life. I noticed you invited me to a date in a public place, but unfortunately, I'll have to decline. If you're comfortable, would you like to come alone to my house while you're somewhat drunk? I have more drinks at home that could help conclude your inebriation. Dude, what do you think she's going to think? Don't you have a brain?
Perfect. It wouldn't have hurt to send I just got back from the gym. I'll take a shower and then head over. Is that okay? Her response would have been infinitely better.
Could have just sent I'm really tired today. What do you think about going out another day?
You're right. Even though my invitation was a return gesture to her kindness, I didn't want to just turn down her invitation and imply I wasn't interested. Indeed, it didn't come off well.
You don't invite a woman you've known for only 2 weeks to consume alcoholic drinks alone at someone's house whom she barely knows. I wouldn't have reacted like she did. In that case, I would have just disappeared, out of fear that you might be a pervert. The first date should always be in a public place. No one wants to become a statistic of femicide.
Wow. Usually the first dates I arrange on Tinder are either at my place or the girl's place. I thought it was common. But now I'm not sure if I'll be able to extend an invitation like that without feeling weird. Ha ha ha.
That depends a lot on the person and the city they live in, etc. I've had dates straight at home too. And there have been girls who refuse to come to my place even after knowing each other and getting along. Each woman is a different situation. The tricky part is figuring out the style of the one you're talking to and using that to your advantage so you don't make a blunder like the op.
Excuse me, sorry I have to pause here. Each woman is a different situation. The tricky part is figuring out and using that to your advantage. Oh my god. I hate how men talk about women. They are not objects. They are not things or situations. People are not tools that you will use to your advantage. And sex is not a trophy. Convincing a lady to spend the night with you is not a game that will reward you something in the end. Moving on.
You are the wrong one. For a first date, she's never met you. You invite her to your place when she's semi-drunk? You don't even need to brain cells to see that. It was very clear what you wanted. And you thought it would work with the wrong person. Completely disrespectful. You even knew this because you said you've seen many women complaining about this type of invitation and still did it. Do you still have doubts that you were the jerk?
Social tact was missing on your part, mate. Well, it's also tough to go out drinking on a Monday unless she's off work tomorrow. But saying, "Come to my place, I have wine," is a mess. Ha 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 ha. Just because it's Monday, every guy pulls this move, hoping just for a fling and then bail. She probably just wanted company so she wouldn't be alone, some kisses and hugs, and then head back to her place to sleep. Women like sex just as much as we do, but there's this block among women. They feel used and devalued when they go to a man's place with a direct invitation like that. But anyway, let's draw some conclusions. Probably this bar hangout on a Monday was planned in advance with her friend, and she could have easily sent you a message. "My friend wants to go out and drink today. Want to come along? So I won't be alone." It would have sounded more natural, and you could have planned for it. Some people make last-minute plans. I'm like that too, but usually it's before heading to the place. Anyway, either she got stood up by someone who was supposed to be there with her, or she went out hunting and didn't find anyone, so she was chatting with you and wanted to use you as a crutch. Either way, I think you missed that one. Let's move on to the next. If she invites you last minute again, and you feel like it, go for it. If not, tell her you have a meeting, you're busy, and suggest another day to hang out.
Okay, that's enough comments. Well, it's very clear that my opinion goes against him. But let's evaluate our actions too. People said that it sounds planned. Is not a random occasion to go to the bar with your friends in a Monday of all days. Why not just invite him in the planning phase of this outing? With the friends, what is she doing with two couples in a bar? Holding a candle for them. Did she had another date and he didn't show up? And is now using the guy as a plan B? I believe this is a situation where everyone sucks. Her invite was sudden and weird. And his invite was disrespectful and dangerous. But that's me. What about you? How do you evaluate this situation?